as you know, my name is Spalding-Neuenschwander, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to swing a rope properly. I'm sure all of you have seen the cowboy movies where they've come out and they've started swinging it around, they throw up, and magically it catches whatever's in front of them, which in reality is not how it works. Before I begin showing you how to swing the rope, I have to show you the parts of the rope. That way you understand what I'm saying and what all goes into it. And it all comes down to basically control over the rope. So here's basically the tail, and it's just whatever's left over. It's what hanging out of your hand or whatever you have left. And what I'm making here are the coils. And in breakaway, these coils will eventually be let go of. If you have them too small, you risk the chance of losing your hand. If you have them too big, you just have a mess. What's in between my hands here is the slack. And the slack is whatever you use to feed your rope with. It allows you to feed it and make it bigger, or take some out and make it smaller. This is the hondu. And in roping, there are two different hondus used for breakaway. There's the practice hondu and the competition hondu. For practice, the hondu is actually plastic, and it'll break whenever you swing your rope and catch your calf. In an actual competition, though, this will not come off. This will hang on, and the tail will actually be attached to your saddle horn with a string. Obviously, what I'm making here is your loop. And this is basically what you're going to use for everything else. Right here is your spoke, this piece in between my hand and the hondu. This shows you control over your loop, and what you're really trying to control is actually the tip. If your loop is too small, you won't have a tip. And the tip will show wherever the rope is going to end up going. If your tip is way up here, your rope is eventually going to follow that tip. And that's what the spoke controls. If your spoke is too long, you have a mouth and it talks to you. If it's too short, you have absolutely no control over where the tip of your rope is going to be. Now, when it comes to making the size of your loop, most people prefer to have it come up to right about here. And others who are more comfortable with feeding their loops have their rope smaller, and they will feed it to make their loop bigger. If they're not comfortable, they make what's called the perfect loop, and it is the length that you are most comfortable with to swing it. And when you start swinging a rope, you're going to need to take your arm and place it, back here to kind of get you started. That way, when you begin swinging, your rope's already halfway there. And as you come out, you're going to want to straighten your elbow and kind of point outwards to whatever's that way. And then you're going to bring it around, and you're going to make sure that your wrist has some kind of a rotating motion to it. If you don't have that rotating motion, your rope's going to figure eight, and it's not going to do what it needs to do. So as you bring your loop in, you're going to need to bring it right about here, pretty close to your eye. And that's basically how you're going to get this going. And afterwards, in here it's a little difficult to do it, but when you're roping, you want to try and get your tip down to get it to go around the calf's head. If not, it's just going to go right over the top. You want to try? Yes, you do. Get up here. Taylor, come here. Okay. Taylor's going to be my lovely little victim. Go ahead. Try and do what I showed you.
Scoot this way, maybe. Straight forward, yeah.
Okay. Good job. Taylor did pretty good. Now, the last thing that goes into swinging a rope is actually the follow-through. And the follow-through is one of the most important things. If you don't follow through with your loop, it's not going to go where it has to go. And the follow-through is basically when you're swinging, you just continue, to bring your arm down in that motion, and you have to rotate your wrist to bring the loop back over. So that way, whenever it swings, it lands open. I don't know if, can you bring it down a little? That way you can see where it lands. And when it comes down, you want it to kind of open. That way it leaves it open enough so that it can catch the calf. Once your rope has been wrapped around the calf's neck, you want to go ahead and pull your slack, which is whatever was left in here. You want to go ahead and pull that out, and then you want to let go of your rope here as fast as possible because you don't want your hand getting stuck in there. If, of course, this is competition. If it's not a competition, don't let go. It'll be fine. It'll just break. And I'm done.